Right, now we're going live. Hello, everyone. My name is Katie of my Greenland Quilter channel. And tonight we are going to start part 2 of me and Jess sewing together on our Lori Holt Prairie Flower seed quilt that we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to hand it off to Jess so that she can, in case you're new, she can share who she is and what the name of her channel is and what she does, what kind of, just whatever you want to share.
Okay.
And I think that's pretty what I see going on behind you.
Oh, isn't it gorgeous? I'll talk about it in a little bit. But yes, my name is Jessica and I have a channel called So Blessed by Jess that's here on YouTube, and I started it just in January of this year, and it's just I'm having an amazing time with it. Getting to know all of friends, and what you'll find on my channel are little tutorials of blocks and how to just create those so that you can put them together to make a larger quilt. I have a huge heart for teaching, and I'm a teacher at heart. Actually, I teach 4th grade math and science, so this isn't too far off the block. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the ride so far and getting to know Katie and all of these fabulous friends on YouTube. So yeah, it's quite fun.
That's outstanding. So what we're going to do is, why don't you go ahead and show them your prairie flowers and tell us what you plan on doing tonight in our sew.
Okay, so I
let
have
me
two.
spotlight you first.
Yes,
Hold on.
spotlight me.
That way they can see all of it. There we go.
All right, so I have 2 of these flowers. They're identical. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew them petal to petal, actually leaf to leaf, sorry, and make a long table runner with them. And then I'm going to frame them in a white on white fabric and quilt it together. I have my batting over here and some backing, and we're just going to use the walking foot and create it. So I'm really looking forward to putting it on my table this spring coming up. So that's what I'm working on.
That's awesome. And I have finished my flower. Last time, I don't think I had it finished. I think I had the top done and the bottom done, but they weren't attached. So here's the flower completed. I have already basted it. I'm going to show you the back, and I'm also going to be quilting mine on the live tonight. And I'm just going to
so beautiful.
We're going to see what happens. I'm going to try just doing whatever comes to me as I go along. At first I thought about doing diagonal half-inch apart quilting, but now I think I want to mess around with the petals, and I want to make these letters of the love spoof out a little bit. So we're going to get creative and see what happens. And if it doesn't look good, that's fine. If it looks lovely, that's also fine. And this is the back of my quilt. And here's my label.
Amazing. I need to label my stuff just a little bit more because I don't label at all. So.
I interviewed someone this week who says she doesn't label any of her quilts either, and she's been making quilts for 35 years.
Yeah. Well, we're just going to be a mystery. Who made this?
Exactly.
I don't know.
So let me swing over to the chat and say hello to everyone. And I got to go back up to the top. As we know, Pat D was in here first. Thank you for coming and supporting our channel and supporting our sew. We also have Jackie. Hello there. Hi, Cindy Good. Hello, Donnell. Welcome, welcome. Hey, William. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Hello, Charlotte. Hi, Mary G. Let me see. Hey, Sylvia. Let me see who else is in here that I have. Hi, Becky Morton. Welcome. I'm not sure if you've been here before, but thank you for coming. Hello, Shirley. Is Shirley for Around to It, right?
Shirley. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Around to It is Shirley, right?
I think so.
I am so bad with names.
No, somebody can correct us in the chat.
Yeah, if I'm wrong about Shirley. Yeah. Shirley, and hello, Andrea. All right. Someone just asked a question. Katie, do you have a link for your labels? I can post the link. Give me a minute and I'll get that done. And Jess, the blocks behind you are gorgeous. Yeah, she's going to tell us all about what she's doing back behind us or back behind her.
Yeah, I can.
Hello, Debbie Horton. Yep. And she says she's enjoying the videos. Okay, so welcome everyone, and tell us what you're going to be working on while we're doing what we're going to do, or are you going to just sit and chill? And don't forget, just so Jess knows about this question I have up here, I put another poll up, and the poll is: have you enjoyed the Prairie Seed Flower quilt along? And comment on what you liked about our cow. So far, 91% says yes and 9% says no. Wow. Okay.
It's okay.
No.
All right, maybe that's not their cup of tea.
Yeah.
No worries.
Whoever said no, tell us what you didn't like about it. Maybe you didn't like the pattern, or yeah, tell us.
Yeah.
Give us some constructive feedback on what you didn't like about it. Yeah, that. Okay. But that's okay. All righty. Let's go ahead and get started. Uh-oh, there's citywide power out, Sylvia says. Are you getting bad weather? And let me find that Sweetwater label. I thought maybe I have it in the bot, but I'm not sure. Let me look in the bot before I go hunting it. Can't remember if I put it in here or not.
Sweetwater.
Yeah, where is my bot? Oops, it's not there. I gotta get it up here again. You know, every time your computer updates itself, it doesn't necessarily always bring everything is supposed to be bringing back on the screen, and it annoys me sometimes. Oh, let me see.
It feels like Google's always updating, and it's always in the middle of my presentation at school. It's like, hey, it needs to update, and I'm like, well, you're gonna have to wait until I'm done. So,
all right. It looks like I don't have Sweetwater in here, but I can also put it in a bot so you guys have it. See here. Let's get the website.
let me put this up here.
So tell us what y'all are working on today, or if you're just going to sit and chill and relax.
Hi, Mona. How are you?
Can you see the chat also?
Yeah. Yeah, I have my cell phone on.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, that'll give me time to find Sweetwater then if you're seeing the chat.
Yeah, I can take care of you.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see where we left off.
Okay.
I guess I could talk about the quilt that's behind me while we're working. So Laundry Basket Quilts had a block of the month, which was called Blizzard. And yes, they are snowflakes behind me. And it has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It had 12 of the large snowflakes, and it's all pre-cut. It was amazing. I absolutely enjoyed working with it. I'm actually working on one right here. But they all come lasered pre-cut like this, and you just put it together. So it's mindless sewing, which I absolutely enjoy. And but yes, it's called Blizzard. She actually does have the whole quilt kit on her website for Laundry Basket Quilts. And yeah, it's beautiful. I can't wait to get it done and put on my long arm and on the couch for this winter, because y'all need a good cuddle quilt for the winter, let me tell you. So I really enjoyed it. And it's from her Cocoa Blue line, which is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Hopefully that answered those little questions about the quilt. Sylvia's in travel. She is in Alaska. Oh, amazing. Well, have fun, Sylvia.
Yeah.
I wish I could design a quilt. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. So yeah, Jackie, we'll watch out for that. So, hi, Andrea. I know I didn't say hi to you. I'm looking forward to seeing those patterns emailed to me soon. I'm going to be testing another quilt for her in a little bit. That's exciting.
I'm having trouble finding the tagged link. That's all.
I'm sorry that you're having a little bit of a hiccup with that.
Yeah, I'll go back to Google again and re-put it in. Maybe I worded it wrong. Sweetwater, quilt label, tagged.
So Jackie, let's see, sorting scraps so Jackie is sorting scraps and waiting on containers to get there tomorrow. Oh, well, when you get done sorting yours, can you come sort mine? I have this huge pile behind me. They need to be cut up though into usable pieces. Donnell's just getting off work. She's feeding the dogs and cleaning up and then getting on that Bargello. Yes. Donna's having her stream tonight also at 7 o'clock.
Yes, and when we finish our live,
Yeah.
there will be a link to dump you right into her channel.
Did you do the Bargello?
No.
No. I have to, I'll be hiding this and putting my Bargello up in.
Yeah, I
Donna
haven't done one because the reason I haven't done one yet is because I'm looking for it, a specific style of one, and so far I haven't found one that is talking to me yet.
Hold on. Let me get my secretary notebook out because I totally told you that I was going to send you an idea.
Yes, that's right, you did.
Where
Yeah, because right now I haven't seen one talking to me.
Oh, girl, where am I? You need to get on me. Bargello, Katie. Got it.
Yep. Okay, now I can share the Sweetwater Lake. So
Good.
here we go. Let's get it in the chat. I have added it to the pot. I don't know why it wasn't in there.
Cindy's relaxing and enjoying and watching us. William is sitting in his car waiting to pick up his son from school. I used to do quite a bit.
Speaking of something, it seems that you're going to be testing the same pattern that Andrea, the woven pattern.
Yeah.
So you and I should sew together on that.
What?
Yeah, because I'm going to test that one too.
We could. We definitely
Yes, we could.
Are you going to use your batiks for it?
Probably, because I think I can make it really colorful. Yeah, I was thinking I would use the batiks and see what it comes out to look like.
Absolutely.
I think I have enough in here to do it with.
It looks so beautiful. Just oh yes.
Yeah, the way it looks in the picture, it looks almost stained glassy kind of almost. It's really cool the way it looks. It like glows a little bit. So I'm wondering what it'll look like if I use like the black for that dark color and then use all those bright happy colors for the rest of it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, hi Mona. And who else have we missed? Hi Pam. How are you? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start quilting and she's going to start working and we'll show you in increments as we do. Tell us what you're working on if you haven't already. And don't forget to do the poll at the top. All right.
Yeah. So Jackie had a question for me. So the name of this quilt behind me is called Blizzard. Sometimes I talk really fast. So yes, please slow me down. It's my New York, piece of me.
Paper piecing too, right?
No, that's not paper piece at all. It's all laser. It was laser cut. So
okay.
Mindless sewing, that's what I call it. Just put them together and roll. So you can get it where it's pre-cut for you already, or you can get it where you can buy the yardage or the kit for it and then cut your own templates. So love laundry basket quilts. So
that's right. You did say that was from her. Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna break down and do one of her patterns because I like her patterns.
Yeah, I want to go to one of her retreats one day. So that's like a dream of mine. And just sew with her.
She seems like such an interesting person. And the other thing is because she's from this side of the pond, it makes her even more interesting to me. You know?
I love people with accents.
Yeah.
I know it just ties me and it draws me.
But she's from Sweden, or is it the Netherlands? I can't remember which.
Somewhere.
Or Poland. It's one of those three countries. And Gudrun is from Iceland.
Oh.
Of GE Designs.
Yeah. Yeah. I've watched them. Yeah. Interesting.
I met her. I got to talk to her for a couple minutes at QuiltCon. She seemed like a really nice person.
Mm-hmm. Well, I look forward to, I'm going to QuiltCon in 26. So I'm really hoping, since it's right in my
Girl,
backyard,
we
that,
got to get together when you do.
I will. I'm taking the whole week off of school. Like, there's nothing.
Nice. So I'm gonna probably do the same thing I did this last time, come in about 4 days early, or
Yeah.
maybe 5, because that gives me a chance to get past the jet lag for one thing. And next year, I mean 2026, I'll be able to straight shoot it from Nuke to Newark, so there'll be less of a jet lag.
True. That's true.
Won't be no 9 hours sitting in it on an airplane. It'll be more like 4.
Man, no, thank you.
You know how many hours it is when I fly from California straight to Copenhagen?
Mm-mm.
11.
Oh, that's just, I'm sorry. I'm going to say this. It's not mean. It's gross. Like, I couldn't do it.
Yep, but you know,
I talk like my fourth graders a lot now. They really persuade my language.
yep, I hear you on that one.
Oh my word.
I try to fly what not first class, because first class who can afford it. But I do like to fly the what they call the something business class. And
Mhm.
so when you're and I like flying in front of the wing, not behind it. And because I don't like the noise is what it is. And it's comfortable up there. And depending on who you fly with, when you're in the air that many hours, you can get up and walk the whole plane.
I don't really, to me, I'm not picky on where I sit because I pretty much just put some headphones on and go to sleep. Um,
Yeah, I'm envious of all you people who sleep on an airplane.
so there's nothing to look at. I can't look out the window, can't talk to the pilot. I'm just like,
Yep.
so it is what it is. But
I just put earphones on and shut everything out.
yeah. Yeah, I need to shut everything out.
And I also I need to get I almost forgot to take straight pins out of the back of this quilt. That would have been bad the first time I hit it with a needle.
Highway robbery. Mm-mm.
I also forgot to change the needle on my machine since I'm going to be quilting with it. So
Well,
I need to
after
do
this
that real quick.
project,
Change the needle.
yeah. How often do you change your needle?
When I think of it, or when I
Yeah.
think or remember to do it. One of the things I notice that makes me want to change it is sometimes the machine will start making it makes this little pop pop noise, and it's hard to describe it, but it doesn't sound like it normally sounds. Put it that way. And usually that signifies, I need to change the needle and clean the inside of it out. Now I try to clean the inside of it out every time I change a bobbin, though. I do that. I just don't always necessarily. I can't, if you change needles every time you change a bobbin, I would never have any needles. You
It all
know,
depends on the size of your bobbin. Absolutely.
hmm?
It
My
all depends on
bobbins.
the size of your
Oh,
bobbin.
here, I'll show you what they look like. They're not that big to me.
Um,
They're
Hi
like
Pam, how are you?
I don't.
Yeah.
They're
I
like
think,
they're Janome, so they're not that big.
oh yeah, I have the same size as you do.
Yeah, so they last a while, but probably not as long as some people's does.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
He's
if I'm doing a lot of sewing,
yeah.
then changing the needle every time I change a bobbin makes no sense
Hmm. Absolutely.
because I got to make everything last as long as possible.
I understand that.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Lori Clark, welcome. And hey, June H, welcome, welcome.
Yes.
Oh,
Hello.
let me get this back on. Oh, I'm going to change my needle
Hi
while I'm.
Joydy. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, Joy T. All right, where is my. So I got to talking to Nikolai. We're going to Denmark in January to pick up a pup. And I have talked him into us going to visit the IKEA while we're there, because I might be able to find a cabinet. You know, I know you've seen them in a lot of people's sewing rooms. It's yay so big and it has several drawers and it's
Yeah, the
on casters,
Alex's.
and some people like to use the top of it for an ironing station.
Yeah, I believe it's called the Alex.
Yeah, I want to buy one of those because then I
Mhm.
could put things like this in the drawers instead of having to put them on the floor in a container.
Yeah, this is an IKEA table. And it has the Alex right next to it where I keep all, and they have these drawer organizers too that fit in there perfectly. So
Cool.
look out for those too, that you can put in the smaller ones if you,
Mm-hmm.
and I just put my like my scissors and my seam ripper because Jack needs to be around.
Yep. I thought I bought some quilting needles. I don't see any. Oh, right here. Thought I had some. I don't know what difference it makes, but maybe it does. I don't know.
I guess I'm like one of those people now that when I go to IKEA, I need to go eat there too. Have you
I
ever?
was going to ask if the food was good.
So the Swedish meatballs are good. I can tell you that, hands down.
Okay.
So, and then they have, um, I mean, it's like a cafeteria style thing, but they have salads, they have salmon, and yeah, I mean, for the price, I believe that it's good to go because you get hungry shopping.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I was watching a couple. It was in Danish, so I was having to read the subtext
Yeah.
for where they were talking about IKEA and eating in IKEA.
Yeah.
And uh for the Swedish meatballs, they were 69 kroners, and for the salmon dish, it was 124 kroners. And he was complaining and saying that 69 kroners and 124 kroners was expensive to him. And to me, my goodness, that's cheap.
Oh, I don't even know what that equals. Like, what
Um,
would that be in US money?
let's see, 60 kroners would be like 300 kron. No, 60 kroners would be how much in US dollars, babe?
60 krona,
Yeah,
90 $90.
$90?
Sorry, $9.
Oh, $9. I
Oh,
was
she's like, that's
about
an
to say, wait a
expensive
minute.
meal right there. I thought we were having like steak and
Yeah, so about a $9 meal. How much do you pay for them in the US?
it's about $9 for the
Yeah, so right on it. And how much do you pay in US dollars for the salmon?
I don't know. It's about the same.
Okay.
A
Yeah,
little bit
because to me that was cheap because
yeah.
when we go and have ribeye steaks at the hotel, they're
Yeah.
359 kroners, I think.
Mm.
So it's around a $50 steak, which if you ate at Texas Roadhouse and had a 12-ounce or a 16-ounce ribeye, you're gonna pay $50 for it. So yeah.
Man, you're making me hungry already. It's dinner
Yeah,
time too.
if I could, this is going to sound bad. I have three things that I could eat 7 days a week.
Okay.
Ribeye steaks is one of them.
What is the other two?
Barbecue chicken is the next one, and grilled teriyaki marinated London broil. Those three things I could eat every day of the week.
I have never had that last one.
So what you do is you go and you buy what is uh called London broil at the meat market or wherever you buy your meat from.
Yeah.
And then you buy a bottle of Picamon teriyaki sauce.
Okay.
You
I have that.
you put the meat in a bag along with a whole bottle of the teriyaki sauce, and you marinate it overnight. Then you fire up your grill, and now we all know that if you are not careful, you can turn even top rounds into cardboard. So
Yes.
you have to cook this as a medium rare piece of meat.
Mm.
And then you just let it sit for a few minutes before you cut into it. And it is so juicy and yummy. You don't have to salt it. You don't, because the teriyaki takes care of all of that. It makes the meat tender. It'll just melt in your mouth.
I made my first prime rib last year, and I was just like, where have I been all my life?
Yep. Prime rib is tasty.
I was just like, we have a farm that we buy our meat from here.
Oh, cool. I
Yeah.
wish I could help my son find I want him to be able to buy some of his meat from a regular meat market, not
Yeah.
Walmart or any of those big chains.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to find a small meat market there where he lives at online where he can go check it out. Because I think he would prefer buying chickens from a smaller meat company versus these big box places that sell these enormous chickens that I won't even eat.
Yeah. Oh my word. So at school, I'm known as the chicken lady because A, I have chickens and no one else does. And then I incubate chickens. I incubate the eggs for a classroom project with my fourth graders.
Uh-huh.
My principal comes to me and goes, I need 12 20-pound chickens next Thursday. He was just picking with me. But I was like, I need at least 21 days so you can even grow one out of the egg. And then if
Yeah.
you 20-pounder, we might as well get turkeys.
That's what I was gonna say. You might as well go buy a turkey quick.
Yeah, I
Because
know. He was.
I don't even know if I've ever seen a 20-pound chicken, to be honest.
They would have a heart attack and die before they even get to 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But no, they like to pick on me because they know that I'll talk chicken with them. So I get all the chicken memes on my door. And
Oh no.
yeah, yeah,
Do you just but it's all in fun. It's not in
absolutely.
yeah.
Because I'll give it right back to them. I'll figure it. It's fun. Yeah. I really enjoy working at the school that I'm at. So
Sounds like it.
yes.
Do you raise any of them to eat?
I have in the past, which was a spring, was my first round of broiler chickens. And I will never do that again. They are the most stinkiest beast I have ever laid eyes on in my whole life.
No,
And
my mother just raised regular chickens like Rhode Island Reds and Dominicers and stuff. She didn't buy meat chickens. Those meat chickens are gross.
they're nasty. And we have so many chicken farms around here and this huge chicken factory or plant just right in town. It feels like I'm always behind a chicken truck.
Yeah.
But
I don't know who genetically modifies them to be like that, but it gives a new meaning to animal cruelty by the time they are ready to go to market.
I understand. Yeah.
The reason I'm going so slow is because I'm going around these letters of the love. Let's see if anybody's commented.
Oh yeah. So Lori said, I don't know. Well, I'll wait and see where you are.
Did you start before Joy T made the hi everyone I didn't catch?
No, that's where I stopped.
Okay, so William Melena, hey Melina, is it Melena or Melina or Meluna? It depends on this side of the pond. The Y might be a U sound.
Oh, and
anyway,
I
yeah, I would say Melina. Yeah,
Melina.
unless it's Melena, but then it would be an A, wouldn't it?
A, you're right. A.
Either way, yeah. If I'm saying your name wrong, forgive me, okay? Anyway, she says, William, I will take a chocolate melt large. Mona says, I've never been to IKEA. Wow. Melina says she hasn't either. Charlotte says that IKEA is a unique experience. Lori says, Jess said Jack, which I needed to get from my sewing area. Need to frog. Oh my gosh. 500 stitches from my cross stitch. I don't like it. Ouch.
So sad. I'm so sorry.
Jackie says, we have an IKEA about 20 miles away, and I have never been there. My daughter, on the other hand, has lots of IKEA furniture. Mona says, okay, I need to find some dinner since William didn't bring me fries. Oh,
Yeah, I
Danielle.
saw that he was getting cheese fries.
Yeah.
Hello. If you're still on, I don't
Yep.
understand why you didn't share with everyone else.
Yep. Gotta
Done
share
with
them.
you. Done with you.
Hello, Fair Bricks. How are you? Welcome to the channel. This is one of my new folks. I met him in Tuber Chat. Really nice people over there in that channel.
Well, welcome.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Jackie says, Jess, thank you for the quilt information. I purchased the PDF for next year. Awesome. And of course,
let me know.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Looks like I'm caught up.
All right.
Wait a minute. She says it's Melina. Okay, gotcha. So that Y is the E sound. Melina. Thank you for correcting us on that. That's fine.
Appreciate it.
Then I won't butcher her name again. Joyce says, I never went to IKEA either, but heard they do make great Swedish meatballs.
Well, the only reason why I'll say that I can go because there's a beautiful cafe. It's a French cafe and it's called Amelia's in Charlotte. The pastries are just, yeah, that's the reason why I go. So I'm like, yeah, let's go to IKEA so that we can go to Amelia's. And they're open till like 3-4 o'clock, like 3 o'clock in the morning. So
wow. So you could go in there and have whatever you want then.
Absolutely. And it looks like you're in France, just the way, oh, it's just beautiful.
Sounds like it.
Absolutely. So my girls really like to go there too. They think they're fancy drinking their hot chocolate.
Yeah, I'll bet they do.
I was like, yes. Oh, my little girls. Yeah, I told them that they had to go to school down in Charlotte so I can go visit them. Oh, yeah.
What kind of college do they have in Charlotte?
Well, it's UNC Charlotte, so it's pretty much it's a very large college. I don't really know much about it. I do know that I can get a teaching degree there because I've looked into it at one time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, why are you giving me a hard time?
But my oldest, she expressed interest in being an astrophysicist. And I said, I don't know where you get the brains from, but that's amazing. So I told her, I'm like, well, you can take care of me when I'm old and gray.
Well, if you can take a physics class and not struggle through it and you're good at math, I don't see a reason why you couldn't be an astrophysicist. Physicist, because mostly it's math and knowing all those formulas and stuff.
She has my math brain. So
yeah, see, there you go.
I've never seen a child where she strives for 100s, and if she gets a 98, she cries. I was like, girlfriend, you have a 4 points. I mean, she has a weighted GPA, so it's over 4.0. I'm like, and you're really worried about this?
Did I tell you that Blaze got a 95 for the first 9 weeks in math?
Oh, that's great. No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah,
How do you, Blaze?
He's doing really good. The teacher said that he's exceptionally smart in math, which that's how Thomas was.
Yeah.
And he's doing really well in science, and they're slowly getting him caught up with his reading. He has 2 reading teachers, believe it or not, and besides the regular teacher. So 2 different teachers come and take him out of class to do things with him to help work with that reading, because when he went into 3rd grade, he was still way below what he should have been. So
he's in 3rd grade this year?
Yeah.
So wow. And he's in South Carolina, right?
No, Georgia.
No, Georgia, yes.
Yeah, he's the school he's at is a Gold Star school.
That's wonderful that he's able to have all that support.
Yeah, that he has that, and the school carried on the, what do they call it? Counseling or whatever you call it for students who have trouble controlling their behaviors.
Yeah, it's a
But
counseling.
his behavior has gotten way better. They finally figured out how to get the Adderall where it wasn't dropping off at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So what they started doing is, instead of him taking the Adderall at 6 a.m. in the morning because he has to be on the bus at 6:30, I think, something like that. I told him to talk to the doctor and see if it's possible to have him take his medicine at school. Like when he gets there, go straight to the nurse first thing in the morning and take his medicine and see if the drop off happens later in the afternoon. It's working. He's able to go through the whole day and not lose his attention.
That's wonderful. Because that's just so much a distraction for kids, and they just feel defeated when they can't.
Yep.
They can't sit there and concentrate, or I mean, one little kid moves their chair and they're distracted for the next few minutes instead of hearing
Exactly. The biggest thing when Thomas was in the when he went from middle school to high school, he came home one day and he says, "Mom, I want to quit school." And this was in the 9th grade. And I said, "Why?" He says, "Because there is 30 kids in my classroom and the teacher will not make them shut up while he's teaching. And they don't never stop talking. They talk, and I can't comprehend anything the teacher's talking about because it's so distracting." And they can drop a pencil on the floor and he loses his concentration.
Yeah.
So,
I
that.
have a few students that are either on or don't take it, and they're doing natural things. And so I just have to keep track of all of them and just check in all the time.
Is there a natural form that you know about, or that I don't know about?
There's definitely some vitamins that you can take, but one thing that, like, I'm ADD, undiagnosed ADD. I know caffeine really helps me. And that's definitely something. So I've talked to my parents, and they'll bring in like little mini drinks like Dr. Peppers in their lunch boxes. And just, it really helps them through the day, just having that kick of sugar and caffeine. But and
I know I used to give Thomas coffee in the morning, and that always, especially if he ran out of his medicine when he was a kid, because they run out of medicine, and the only way they can get a refill, they have to go to the doctor again to get the refill, so that it's a controlled substance. And so, when you run out of medicine, you're in trouble. And coffee was one of the things that I used for him.
So I always have hot chocolate in my classroom. And because chocolate does have caffeine in it a little bit, and so if I see a kid struggling, I kind of just start making hot chocolate for them. And so I know that I can't get in too much, and I just let their parents know, hey, I gave your kid a drink at lunchtime or something. But Joydy asked me, how many children do I have? I have 2 girls, 2 teenage girls, I might add. One just fulfilled the promise of becoming a teenager a couple weeks ago.
Oh boy.
I am definitely full blown into teenage mom. Absolutely. It's great.
My oldest granddaughter, she turns 13 next month. And boy, I'm just wondering, Kristen is about to get a little bit of her own medicine back. Oh.
I always told my kids, I was like, I was the best growing up. Like, I never told my mom no. I'm like, that was a lie. But I tried I just try to instill those little good, those little things for them, but they're doing great. They're amazing kids. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah. I mean, out of the 3 of them, people always say that when they hit teenagers, they're terrible. I didn't think I had bad teenagers at all. Now, Kristen was moody as a teenager. But as far as being mouthy and refusing to do things or causing trouble or whatever, she didn't do any of that. None of them did. Even Thomas with his ADHD or ADD stuff, he never got in trouble at school. Most of his trouble started as soon as he got home. because he
Oh,
would be wound up like a top. I don't know if you remember when you come home how you were all hyper and wound up. That's how he would come home, is wound up.
my mom would say, go outside, Jess. Just go
Yep.
outside. And there was a farm behind us and they grew. So there was like, where the tractors go,
Mhm.
paths. I used to take the truck out there and determine, I was like, it's about almost 3 miles. And
Yep.
so probably every other day before the snow would hit, I mean, I would run it. And that would help me.
Yep.
So
I truly think that kids need to be outside when they first get home. They come home with homework, but trying to get homework done as soon as they get home it just didn't work. But what I would do is tell them they had an hour and a half to go outside and run and play and do whatever, and then come in and you know about 30 or 40 minutes before it was time to sit down and eat dinner. That's when they usually did their homework
hi,
because
Debeth. How are you
by
doing?
then they're settled. Hey,
True.
John.
Oh, hi, John.
Welcome, welcome.
And I have
I'm
a door that leads to the outside in my classroom. And so if
uh-huh.
a kid that's struggling that just needs to get some energy out, I whisper in their ear, I was like, come with me. And I open up the door and I go, run all the way to the end of the building and back. And then when you get to the end of the building, jump up and down 3 times
Yep.
and then come back and do 10 jumping jacks and then skip all the way down and come back. And they just absolutely love it. And then my whole class is lining up to do it. And I was like, hold up. It's not your turn. It's not your turn. But yes, so it's like biologically, I have 2 children, but really, hundreds of children. Yes, I know. I've taught hundreds of babies and I love it. Absolutely. I wouldn't have it
Do any of them ever come back and see you when they're in their high school years?
Well, my first class that I taught, because this is my encore career. I was a restaurant manager for the first 17 years.
Uh-huh.
So when I was, let's see, 38 is when I became a teacher. So just a couple years ago. And my first class is now in 10th grade. So they haven't even graduated yet.
Oh
But I do
my.
get emails from them. I do.
Oh, that's good.
Or if I see them out and about, they don't avoid me. Like I would have avoided my teacher back in the day. But no, they don't avoid me. So, and they
Oh,
even know my husband. So
no.
he came today and brought them my kids treats because it's Friday.
Aw.
They did so well. And I go, Dustin, you need to bring them treats and say that you want to reward them because I want to keep looking like the bad cop and he's the good cop kind of. Like
Yeah.
that's the way we roll in the classroom in certain ways. But he brought them candy and a cat. He brought my cat to school. Yes. That's fun.
Is there any when you're quilting, let's see if everybody can answer this question along with you.
Yeah.
When you're quilting and you go back over, when you might cross over where you've already sewn something or already quilted, like go over the top of that stitch. Is there any rules about not going over the top of them, or is that okay?
That's fine. There's going to be points where you have to just cross over a little bit, or you might even cross over a whole line. I mean, it happens.
Okay.
When I'm long arming and like I get stuck in a spot, I just try to meander and go over that same stitch. And I mean, you can't even tell, it kind of disguises it a little bit, or it might look a little thicker compared to the other ones, but it's okay.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was some specified rule that you shouldn't do that.
Quilting doesn't have any rules, Katie. It's it's all just, go with the flow or that's how I feel personally. Quilting,
Okay.
you make your own rules for quilting.
Okay.
If somebody's going to judge your quilting, then they shouldn't even be. No, no, I not like that. I don't live that
So,
way.
So Jackie says, Katie, that sounds like my daughter's oldest. She is now 14. She could hold it together in school and then lost it as soon as she walked through the door when she got home.
Yeah. It's tough. It really is, keeping all that attention all day long.
One of my friend, I have a friend that I've known for a long time, and we've talked a lot about certain behaviors that I have, or certain, like I multitask like nobody's business. I've watched. Sometimes I sit in front of the TV and I'm watching something on the TV. I'm watching something on the laptop, and I'm playing solitaire on my phone.
Right.
And if you look at my laptop, I have two browsers that I run at the same time, and both those browsers are full of websites. So it's not unheard of to find that I have 90 browser windows open at the same time.
You are my
And
knight.
she asked me, she says, have you always been like that? Were you just always? I'm like, yeah. I said, and the other thing is I'm a procrastinator in one of the worst kind of ways, and I don't know when I became one, but the old saying, put off tomorrow what, or you can, whatever you were supposed to do today, put off for tomorrow, whatever that saying is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And I think it might, and she says, you have a lot of the same ADD symptoms that so many who are undiagnosed with. And it never occurred to me that I might have been that way, but it would explain why from the kindergarten to fifth grade, I still have my report cards, believe it or not, when teachers used to write in them instead. And all of them, I would have good grades for the most part. But every one of them, Kathy talks too much. She's disruptive in class, that kind of thing. And then I would get, in big trouble when I got home.
Oh, no.
And that might be what that was an undiagnosed case of ADD,
I understand.
And I do talk too much.
There we go. Oops, I accidentally turned y'all down. But yeah.
John says, I spent 5 years teaching at a college in London. I sometimes think about my students. I hope that they are doing well. Yep. What did you teach in college?
I don't know if I could ever be a professor.
I wanted to teach at a junior college, teach ornamental horticulture.
Mm-hmm. I thought about starting like a little sewing club at school or
Oh, that sounds like fun.
I have a couple, I call them friends. My students are friends. They've crocheted things for me already.
Uh-huh. Oh, nice.
Amazing. Amazing. I'll have to bring them home someday so I can show you.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. Yeah, my kids are amazing. And every year I say, it can't get any better. Can't, and then it does. I was like, it's just amazing.
Me, I never went to college.
No, but you went to Seaman School. Isn't that similar?
Seafair School.
Seafair School?
Yeah.
Isn't that the same kind of similar?
Yeah. And when I was at Seafair School, learned more basic of what I'm working on board now.
Yeah. I mean, most of them go through, even the ones who are not contracted. They all go through Seafair School, don't they? Some do? Okay.
Some started immediately.
Oh, so they learn on the job then.
Yeah. John said he taught computing. Like, I guess, yeah.
Oh, computers, cool. Hey, Frank from Florida. It's been a while since I've seen you. How are you doing? And how's the weather in Florida right now? Okay. I don't know if I'm, we'll see what y'all's opinion is when I show it to you. It probably looks messy. But I'm still learning how to quilt, you guys. So anything I do, it looks like a beginner.
And that is absolutely amazing. It's great. Don't worry about that. No. It's going to look beautiful.
Yep. It's going to look really good.
Absolutely.
All right. Let me see. What can we ask them about? We could talk about the poll again. Let's see where we are on voting here now. Okay. 87% say yes, they like to quilt along, and 13% say no. Hey, you guys got to tell us what you like about it and what you didn't like about it. Inquiring minds want to know. It helps us creators, decide on whether, what we could do to make it better, or if it's just a pattern you don't care for.
Yeah. And I just feel like as long as you and I are happy and
Yep.
just joyful for with what we're making, there's going to be something that you look on someone's channel and go, that's just not my cup of tea. And that's okay. Absolutely okay.
Yep, definitely.
Everything.
I also think that sometimes it's if you can get positive feedback, meaning I'm not saying I like this, blah, blah, blah. That's not what I mean. I mean, get feedback, whether it's good, whether they like it or they don't like it, but they do it so you can learn how to be better at something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That also helps too.
Absolutely. And we all have different takes on our craft and how to do things.
Yep. And believe me, I'm a newbie, so I'm learning as I go along.
Sean.
But I'm also very proud of how far I've come with it.
Yeah.
I feel like as long as we're all learning something, that's what really matters. And enjoying it at the same time as we're learning.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I could spend hours in this room.
Yeah, me too. It's kind of like the same thing with gardening. When I was raising the kids and going to college and taking care of the house, I still found time outside to be outside. And it wouldn't be, a lot of times I would put something in the crock pot or whatever, or in the oven cooking, and it would not be unheard of to find me still out there digging in the dirt after dark, because I just didn't want to come in.
Yeah.
But you got to be mom and take care of your youngins too. So.
True.
And every now, sometimes the kids would come out there, Mom, what are you doing? And I'd show them. And you want to hear something funny? They could tell you in just about most, well, maybe, I don't know about the northern states, but any of the more southern states, or like California, all three of them can tell you what tree is this and what palm tree is that. And it's because they've been around me and learned all the common names of trees and shrubs and flowers.
Mm-hmm. I wish I was more into flowers, and I'm trying to be with growing my garden next year, because every year I add more and more. Like I'm gonna add a new row, but I do need to put some plants that would attract butterflies and bees and just the insects that pollinate. So
there's lots of that. That seam did not lock down. I'll have to come back and do something about that.
I need to do some research.
Yeah,
something that
butterfly attractors can be like there is a butterfly. I have to take this out. It didn't lock it down. It's a butterfly bush, yeah.
Yeah, I have one in the front yard. It's like a really dark purple. It's beautiful.
Yeah. There's a lot of things. A lot of them are easy to grow too. You don't have to get too.
This is what I like.
And I can tell you that as much as we all dislike dandelions, bees love them.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of information about a dandelion. You know, most of us treat them like weeds, but the only reason they're even around to begin with is because where humans are, you will find dandelions. Where nature is strong and not been polluted or anything, you will not find one dandelion. Not one. Like when you go around the lake here, there's no dandelions. Or if you go way out in nature where humans are not at, there's no dandelions. And you're going to say, well, why is that? Dandelions are on this planet to fix what's wrong with the soil. So if the soil becomes out of balance, dandelions bring it back into balance because they have the gift of fixing nitrogen in the soil. And once that soil is at the right what it's supposed to be at, you don't hardly see the dandelions just up and disappear. You never see them again until it becomes imbalanced again anyway. It's a really interesting thing the way they are.
Good to know.
You know what? I got distracted. Hang on a minute. I have to go back and start again and lock the stitch this time. Otherwise, it's just going to come out.
Well, everyone has manicured lawns around me except for me. So I don't believe in all that life.
I had St. Augustine grass in certain spots, but mostly I had ground covers and shrubs and trees. That was my thing. I mean, I like mowing grass, don't get me wrong, and I want to get a lawnmower for here so I can cut, because we have natural grass here, and it'll get as tall as your hip, some of it, because everything's in its natural form here. But every now and then, there's 2 or 3 yards here that they actually do own a lawnmower, and they keep the grass at a manageable state. And I want to do that so I can keep mine at a manageable, not get rid of it, just keep it, shorter.
Yeah. We fight over who's going to mow the lawn.
Do you like mowing?
Love mowing.
Me too. It's like another Zen moment.
I even have time for it. Like that's how much I do it. I know it's weird, but I'll take my phone, put my app on, and hide it in like the little compartment on the side, and then I'll start mowing the lawn and tell him I could mow the lawn in 45 minutes or and all that stuff. And then he likes to just do stripes just going up and down, but I'm like, no, you gotta do diagonals once in a while.
Yeah. My dad used to have a lawn care company for a while, and I used to beg, can I go? Because I love sitting on the riding lawnmower or even pushing a lawnmower around the flower beds or whatever. I loved it because it was a Zen moment for me.
My grandma lived on 5 acres, and then she had a grass runway. So she knew, she's like, oh, Jessica, I need her. And so she had a 0-turn lawnmower. Loved it. So I just put on my noise canceling headphones and off I went. So there's my little quirkiness of the day. Now you know how much I like to mow lawns, y'all. I don't like to weed eat though. I won't do the weed eater or anything like that. You can do the trimming.
Oh, we've missed some comments above. Okay.
Here we are just talking up a storm.
Yeah. Hang on, let me backtrack a little bit so I can we'll catch everything up. Frank says, I'm well, thanks, beautiful weather. Katie said, Katie, that's me. Pat says, Katie, as long as you are happy with it, then it's fine. So we're just talking about what I'm doing. And then Pat says, Katie, would you share the love block pattern? Yes, I will put the link. Let me get it for you.
Awesome.
I don't know if you noticed, I hung up a bunch of the ones I've already done from the past. Did you see all of them hanging up back there?
Yes, I see them.
There's just something about this pattern. It's so fun to make. And I'm going to put them, I'm going to put those love blocks on the back of my, the quilt that I'm going to give to the grandkids. And to my kids, there's going to be one of those blocks on the back. Let me find the block. Hold on a minute. You get to answer their questions for a minute if you don't mind.
Yes,
While I go
ma'am.
find it, because it's not easy finding that particular block. Because it's in a archives.
Mhm.
Okay, Moda.
Um, Frank said he's good, thank you. And John said it's interesting to see the creative process. Donnell told, so I need to plant because we're going back to the gardening. Dill, bee balm, lavender, coneflowers. Yes, I want coneflowers, Donnell. You can send me
Yeah,
some.
coneflowers are yummy.
I live in North Carolina. I'll give you, you have my address. Send me some coneflowers. Thank you so much. I prefer purple. I like the color purple, and so do you. So we can be, you know,
Yep.
friends. Let's see. Lori says, grow cosmos. I do. I know about
Yeah,
cosmos.
cosmos are so easy to grow. You can't hardly do wrong by them. Sometimes you have to put some stakes in with string going across like in diagonal so that they can grow up between it, because sometimes some of them get really tall and the wind can just like knock them down.
Good to know. Thank, um, I did build like a fence around my garden because my dog would go and steal all of the peppers and everything off my plant.
Mm-hmm.
Had to I've had to gate it in. So anything, I have vines, actually grapevines on it right now. So, but yes, any kind of flower. I just low maintenance, y'all.
Yep.
Hit me up with a low maintenance.
Marigolds are easy to grow. Zinnias are easy to grow because they're low maintenance. And actually, with marigolds and zinnias, you can get different heights of them. There's the miniatures, there's the medium sized ones, the taller ones. The marigolds keep certain kinds of bugs away out of your food garden. So it's good to use those in your food garden because the smell of the flowers detours a lot of different kind of insects that like to take munches on your food, you know. So they're great for gardens like that.
Yes, I had this horrible bug that was on my tomatoes this year.
Uh-oh.
I know. But it's okay. I still ate my tomatoes anyway. I washed them and went. Oh, John said, love the saying. Remember, amateurs built the Ark. Professionals built the Titanic.
And look what sunk.
Yes, that's amazing. Terry's asking me about the quilt pattern on my wall back here. So this is Laundry Basket Quilts. It's a block of the month, or it was a block in the month, and now you can buy the pattern, and it can come pre-cut for you, or you can get templates and cut it yourself. I got the pre-cut monthly subscription. It was a lot of fun. I'm still putting it together. I have about 4 more big snowflakes to make, and then I can start putting it all together. My goal is to have it done by the end of next week. So, and to put on the long arm. But yeah, it's called Blizzard. Blizzard by Laundry Basket Quilts. Thank you, Donnell. I appreciate that you got me. John said his girlfriend loves purple. Purple is a girl's best friend, I'm telling you.
Yep. You ever wonder why purple gets such a bad rap in the quilting industry?
I know, it does. It does.
Purple and yellow. Yellow is the other one that I hear some people say. A lot of people say they don't like either of the colors, and I don't understand why.
I have purple and yellow in a lot of my quilts, but
yeah.
Then again, I went to East Carolina University and go Pirates, but we were gold and purple, so I'm kind of attracted to those too.
Yep.
Let's see.
All right, where did the mode of block heads go to? Oh, love block.
It's
I was
here.
in the wrong
How are
spot.
you doing? Thank you for coming in and hanging out with us. No, Joyce, they are not FPP blocks. They're actually, let me pull one out. So they are, let me get a darker one. They are laser cut. I don't know if you can see that, but they're cut in diamonds and triangles, and I just put them together and to create this. And there's 6 different not quadrants, that's 4, but there's 6 parts to this quilt. It's a hexie. They're beautiful. Here, I'll take this one off so I can bring it closer. But it's amazing. It works so well together. So, and I believe that this is the blue, cocoa blue collection that she had last year that came out, when she had cocoa blue and cocoa pink. So, because it has a lot of browns and tans into it also. But it's a beautiful collection. Absolutely. Donnell says that, oh, Lori. Yeah, Lori saying hi. Jean saying hi. Donnell says she likes purple as an accent and not as the main color. I think it depends on the color of yellow. I mean, there's so much variation. And then Pat said, thank you, she's printing it off.
You're welcome. I'm just putting something in the box so that we can bring it up now if we want to.
Bring what up?
The motor block, the love block.
Yes. Oh, how is it?
Oh, it's good. No salt though.
No more.
Oh yeah, don't put no more salt in it because I think that's plenty. Ooh, it's tasty, yummy. He makes the best chicken soup. He also makes chicken and pork, and we use the pork tenderloin with the chicken in the soup. And oh my gosh, his soup is so yummy.
Yeah. Mike in New York Beauty, he makes apparently, and I haven't had some mean soups. So we've had a couple conversations about that.
Oh, that's cool. And I like to make gumbo, and he loves, I use chicken and shrimp in my gumbo, and Nikolai loves it.
I like it when guys cook. I was like,
yeah, me too. Gives me a break. But they also, they have their own way of, their flavors are different, and you get a chance to enjoy those flavors that you wouldn't normally even know about because, you know, they don't cook all the time. All right, let's see if this bot does what it's supposed to do. Let's test this. So if you want the pattern for the love block, just type in exclamation love block, all one word, not split apart. Come on, bot, give us the link.
Yeah. Is it? Well.
Wiki wiki. Really? Oh, there it is. Oh. I'm like, wait a minute, it's supposed to be there.
Yes.
And I figured out something. I figured out how, I didn't know if you've noticed in the chat that every so often Sean's channel comes up on its own through the Nightbot.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'm not manually typing in Sean, exclamation Sean. It's because I figured out how to use the timer on the Nightbot, because I wanted to test it to see if it works, and now I know it works. So you're going to see your channel bounce up here every now and then too. You know, because some of the channels you want to, you know, help out. And now that I figured that out, there's a few of these I can do like that. And then I don't have to stop what I'm doing to put it in.
Absolutely. I like that idea.
Me too.
We're out of spinach.
No, on the top up there in the plastic bag is spinach. See that plastic bag that I wrapped them in? Oh, hang on, I'll be right back.
I'm really hungry. What is gumbo?
Sometimes you put spinach in it too.
Katie, we have a question. What is gumbo?
Gumbo is a loop. when you say it's a Cajun dish, right?
It is a Cajun dish.
A Cajun soup. So,
Sausage.
like Louisiana and Mississippi probably are the two main states that have it. I know there's other states, but those seem to be where they come from. So gumbo had you make what is called a rouge, right? Is that how you
A roux?
roux? Yeah, a roux, and all that is butter that you melt in the pot, and you sprinkle flour in it, and you keep on messing with it till it turns this rich brown color.
Yes.
And then you start the process of making the gumbo. From that, you put in stock, meat, but it's a process. There's onions involved. You can put almost just about anything in gumbo, but I use onions, okra,
I didn't grow
chicken,
up for this.
shrimps.
So disappointed.
And I figure out, I don't have the recipe in front of me, but I put a bunch of stuff in there, put it that way. And you cook it for a while because you want the soup to thicken. And part of what thickens it is the roux along with the okra that you put in it, because the okra does the same thing. And by the time your gumbo's ready, you don't even know that the okra's even there because it's like disappeared. Because some people don't like okra for some reason.
Well, it's probably because they grow it too large and then it gets fibrous, and they don't understand that it only once it it starts growing, then it's just a couple days and take it off.
Yeah, you cut them when they're about this long, like 2 inches maybe. But if you let them get like this long, you're wasting time even trying to enjoy eating them because they're not good.
No, not
they're
at all.
tough and fibrous, like you said. And I don't know if most people know this, but the okra is in the same family as hibiscus.
Oh, really? No, I did not know that.
Yep, that's why the flowers look so much similar to a hibiscus flower.
Look at me, I'm growing a wrinkle today. That's amazing.
And okra is an African brought from Africa. That's why I can't grow okra here. It's too chilly in the summer months. Not hot enough. It needs to be good and hot for okra.
Absolutely.
If you want to get a good load of okra anyway. Now I have a couple friends here that has Chinese hibiscus plants in their house, and they flower all the time, but they have these enormous windows. But I can't even think of how you would grow okra in the house because you would need several plants to even get enough to eat off of it.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, I'm going to try to put this. Let me see here. I'm going to spotlight this camera because I'm hoping this gives you a better look. And let's see if you can see the quilting on it and see what you think about it. Okay. All right, let me put it. I don't want to unmute it. Can you see the quilting?
Yes, we can.
Does it look okay?
It does. You've done a wonderful job. Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, so now I can start fooling with the flour and stuff and the stuff around it.
Mm-hmm.
Gumbo is very tasty, John. Can he hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had it a couple times. I've never.
I wouldn't.
But...
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. What's that other soup that they make in Louisiana? Dang it! But it's always spicy, and I have never been to Louisiana, but I wouldn't mind visiting it one day in the future. But I wouldn't mind trying some of the food if I didn't have to worry about it burning my mouth, because I just can't eat spicy without putting sour cream in it,
I'll try anything once, but yes. Oh, there's more. Oh, hey.
It's so good. Every time he adds one ingredient, it changes the taste. it like enhances it. Like he puts haricots, and haricots are French young green beans. They're long and skinny.
Yeah.
And that it gives a little bit of a different flavor versus regular green beans or pole beans. Now, pole beans, I wish I could grow pole beans here because pole beans are so. Okay, babe.
When my stepfather would grow, we had a garden a couple years when we lived on the farm. And I would just go out and wax beans, or the yellow beans.
Yeah.
Just pick them off the plant and just boil some water, steam them. And that's what I would eat with some butter and salt and pepper.
You know, I've never eat the yellow ones. I'll have to try them out the next time I come to the state.
They're my favorite.
Find somewhere that might serve them, or either go buy them fresh and cook them in you know, wherever it is I'm at.
Yeah,
I wanted to cook okra while I was there this last time, and I just could not get the time to do it. And it was probably part of the reason I didn't is because I was sick for 2 weeks after QuiltCon. And QuiltCon's not what made me sick. Eating at Cheesecake Factory is what made me sick.
Oh.
Because we did an Airbnb, and it was me, my daughter, and Christine didn't go to Cheesecake Factory with us. And it was raining that night, and I didn't dress warm enough, and I had gotten wet, so I was already cold. And then we waited an hour and a half to eat at the Cheesecake Factory. And then we were put at this really tight, and the whole place was so crowded. It was crazy. And when we came back home, back to the Airbnb, Christine and Lynette said about 3 o'clock in the morning, they started hearing me cough in my sleep. And by that Sunday morning, I was sick. And I said, well, not going to QuiltCon, because I was going to take Lynette and let her see all the stuff. And I'm like, we're not going with me sick. I am not going to go and infect everybody else.
Understandable, yeah.
So we did that long drive back to Lake City. And by the time we got to Lake City, I was burning up with a fever. And she ended up sick too.
Yeah, there's 2 factories in Raleigh. Did you go to North Raleigh, or did you go by like South Point? You remember?
It wasn't too far from the Airbnb where we went, I don't think.
Okay.
And the Airbnb was only like 5 minutes from the convention center.
Okay. So yeah, you went to North Raleigh. Yeah.
It was inside the mall. And when we came in the mall, we came through Belk's or whatever that big, I think it was Belk's or either JCPenney's. I don't remember which one it was. And when we left there, we had to go out a side door, and she couldn't remember where we parked at. And the reason she couldn't remember is the parking garage we parked in was at the entrance where the big department store was at. And because we came out the way we came out, it had us confused for a little while. And finally I got to looking at it, because the young couple come out and said, is there another way to get back into the JCPenney, or is there another door that gets into JCPenney's? And when they asked me that, I'm like, wait a minute. That's right. We came through the whole store from one end of it. Yeah. And so I could see Lynette coming down the sidewalk. I said, do you see that parking over there across the road in front of the other end of the store? Yeah. I said, that's where you parked the car. She says, how do you know? I said, don't you remember we traveled all the way through the entire length of that department store? Yeah, I remember that. I said, so the car's down there. 5 minutes later, she was over where I was at with the car. And it was all because when the young people asked me about it, I was like, wait a minute. Right.
I haven't been to Crabtree Mall in forever.
It's a big place.
Yeah.
We went through some of the stores. I didn't go through too many of them. We were, waiting to get in. We had that little buzzer thing with us. We went to the Lego store. We did do that.
Hey, priorities. Absolutely.
Yeah, I go see what I can buy my husband,
Absolutely. Oh. Yes.
Okay. Do you want to show where you're at on your stuff?
Well, I'm pinning right now.
Okay.
So I have my backing, and then here, let's see. Let's take that off, because I'm Franken batting. I'm putting 2 pieces of batting together. So I don't have to cut anything off, but I don't know. Can you see
He
it?
used like a zig. Oh, look, wait a minute. Let me spotlight you so everybody can see. That's gonna be pretty. Hold on, I haven't got you spotlighted yet. There we go. Go ahead.
There she
Oh, that's gonna look so good on a table.
is.
That really looks good, Jess. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's gonna look great.
Let's see.
A bigger
Joyce
table.
says, Joyce says, I wanted to stay at the hotel connected to the convention center if there is one. There is one, but it's $300 a night.
Yep. I mean, fits in your budget. Absolutely.
Yep. That's
So,
why we did Airbnb because the Airbnb had a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. It was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath in a living room, a kitchen, a full kitchen, and a big long dining table, the whole 9 yards. And we split the rent for 3 days. Yeah, 3 days between the 3 of us, and it ended up being $240
well,
a
that's not
piece. There's nowhere you can stay at a hotel for 3 nights at $240 unless it's some dive somewhere.
Oh, there's sketchy places everywhere you go. So yeah.
Even the Red Roof Inn charged $85 a night.
Hmm.
Now, when I first landed in Raleigh, I stayed at a place called Sonesta. Have you ever heard of that?
Sonesta?
It's called Sonesta.
No.
So I was trying to book a place to stay, and I kept going back and forth between 3 different hotels.
Hmm.
And I'd never heard of Sonesto, but when they showed the pictures of the rooms, they looked exceptional. And it was either 85 or $90 a night. And I'm like, sure, let's try it. I'm only going to be there for 2 nights and then switch over to the Airbnb. Let me tell you what, my room had a king size bed in it, a sofa, a table to sit and eat food at, and a desk, and this big bay window that you could open up and see the forest. It was great.
I know exactly where it is. I just Googled it. But yeah,
And
right off
and
airport card.
yeah, it was, and they have a like a bus, and
Yeah.
they have a list of restaurants, and you do not have to pay money. You tell them you want to, like I wanted to go to a Waffle House the first night I was there. They drove me to Waffle House and came back to, told me to call them when I was ready to come back. They came back and picked me up and brought me back to the hotel. And I didn't have to worry about a Uber or a taxi, nothing.
Well, you're only okay, so I watched the Hurricanes hockey, right?
Yeah.
And you're only seriously 5 miles away from Lenovo Stadium. And so just think about it. You can come now and you can go watch a hockey game. We can watch a hockey game together.
Yeah, we should do that because I've never been to one. Do you know I've never been to a hockey game or a football game in person ever?
We have to go.
I've never been to a concert,
will
a
put it.
live concert either.
Oh,
So yeah, we should do that.
absolutely. Anybody coming to QuiltCon, if there's a hockey game, I will save money. We'll go see a hockey game. We might be sitting in the nosebleeds because it's so much more fun. It's actually, the people are amazing up there in the 3rd tier, but yeah, it's great. Lots of fun, great energy. So
Sounds like fun. Okay, now what do I want to do with the flower part? Because I went around the yellow part first, and I think I'm done with doing anything else to the center. Let me let y'all look at this one more time and see if you think this is good enough. Because I don't think I want to do any more where the love is at in the yellow. I think I'm gonna leave it the way I have it. Let me spotlight real quick.
Done.
It's all done.
thanks, I'll be there in a minute.
You hear that, honey?
What?
She says thanks. She'll be there in a minute.
Oh, me.
Okay, this is the center. Can you see all the quilting?
Yes, we can.
Do y'all
That's-
think that's good? I think that's pretty
Oh, that's
simple.
perfect.
What do you think?
Yes. I wouldn't do anything else. I love it.
Okay, because now what I'm going to do is I'm thinking about maybe doing some curves in these triangles or something. but not get too carried away with them. John says he thinks that that looks wonderful.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
I'm really enjoying this project. I'm really glad that you're challenging me to this.
I'm enjoying it too. See, I made one for a swap partner last time, so I don't even have one of my own. And I'm like, let's make one of my own, and I'm not going to give it away, you know?
Jessica can't have it. No.
I wouldn't mind making one to give to you, though. I had an idea. I was thinking about making a few, I don't know. It doesn't take that much fabric to make this if you think about it. I mean, the most part of it's just cutting.
Oh, I
but
know. That's
even when
what I
you're,
was gonna say.
yeah, I didn't feel like it used much fabric. Not compared to some projects I've done. But these would make great things to give away as gift
True.
to quilters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you mean you can pretty much put it anywhere. You have it like a little wall hanging, or use it as a little mat. So
I think what I'm gonna do with mine is hang it up, and I have a bunch of I collect enamel pins. Like I got some from QuiltCon, but I also have a bunch of them from Disney. Me and Nikolai, oh my gosh, we have so many. And I wouldn't mind pinning them onto a small wall hanging quilt. Looks like I got it all trimmed up on the back. Okay. I don't know if you can see the quilting on the back or not. Oh, yes, you can. Look.
every time I see it, I think of Philadelphia, Brotherly Love. So
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get this spotlight off. Okay.
Well, you
Now
don't
let's decisions on what to do next to it. I could play around with the leaves too.
Yes. I'm not that adventurous. I don't feel like I'm that artsy or the patience. Hold on. Let me restate this. I don't have the patience to like sit
and do it for a while.
Yeah. I'm just like, let's go fast and get it done. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's just my piece, but
yeah.
So I've always been.
Well, I'm not free motion. I'm just doing straight line stitching and just moving the quilt around or turning it as I follow the edge or whatever. I haven't learned how to free motion on this thing yet. I'm a little afraid of it.
You should make some like bowl cozies, like just put 10 pairs and you can, meander and just figure out your little style. And then
that's actually a great idea.
And just practice that way. So it's a bowl cozy. So if it doesn't turn out really well, I mean, eat ice cream out of the bowl.
Okay, so here's more comments. John says, I think that looks wonderful. Andrea says, yours is beautiful, Jess. Pat says, that Jess, that's awesome. Joy T says, that's beautiful, Jess. Joy T says, I want to stay at a hotel. We already read that one. Okay, now go back down the other way. Pat says, that looks like enough for that area, not onto the purples. Yeah, now onto the purples. Yep. Joy says, I still haven't started my love quilt yet. Uh-oh. She says, I am pitiful, exclamation mark. And then John says, really glad I found out about your channel. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for coming. I really love meeting new people. And then John says, Steve Jobs, Apple said, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. That's a good saying.
Absolutely.
Hi, Michelle. Michelle says, hi, Katie and Jess. I subscribe to both of you. Love that design. And then she's got a heart, a thimble, and a heart. Not thimble. Spool of thread. Sorry. Thank you for coming and subscribing. Yes.
Thank you.
How's your sub count doing right now?
I mean, I guess it's growing. It's like I always wanted to hit 1,000, and then after that, I was like, whatever happens, happens. Like, let it be organic. So if it's meant to be just 2,000. It's just meant to be 2,000, but I'm having fun, and that's all I want it to be. I never really,
I
but
feel like if you can get to 2,000, your channel has, it's gotten itself kind of established, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
And that's why I want to get to 2,000 so bad, so I can just chill and go with the flow. Yes, last night I checked my watch hours, and for the first time in, let's see, July, be August, September, October, November. So that would be 13, 14, 15. The first time in 16 months of having this channel, I got over 15,000 watch hours.
oh, cool.
Finally, finally. And I am so happy about that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because that means they're watching the videos.
Mhm. And people are going back and rewatching things too. So
Yep, yep.
yeah.
I must have a couple people here in Greenland watching my videos, because I went from seeing 1% of Greenland, which is me and Nikolai Mo, because I go back and watch my videos, and Nikolai watches them when he comes home.
Yeah.
And now it's sitting at 2% because somebody else is watching now.
Who's that next person?
Yeah.
That's what we need to know. You need to come out of the woodwork.
Complain. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to complain.
Terry says you do have good videos. Great
Thank
videos.
you.
Sorry. Great.
Thank you. I'm really working on getting better and better at it. I was watching some of my earlier lives, and I see what people were talking about kind of looking like I was jittery or whatever, because you could see my body moving all the time. My head was moving. I was constantly doing this with my hair, touching my hair, or touching my face a lot, and I've gotten better about not doing that. I didn't realize it was a nervous thing, you know?
It is. It is. Absolutely.
I remember when I took my speech class in college, the instructor, you get critiqued on your speeches. And you're taught a lot of things by the instructor, but they also have you get up and do speeches, not only to help you get better at it, but walk you through the things that you shouldn't do when you're talking, or try not to do when you're talking.
Yes.
Like, it's okay to use hand gestures, and you see me doing that a lot sometimes, but excessive is distracting to people who are listening to your speech. Or my thing was, I would sit here and twist my fingers like this, and I've noticed on some of my videos you see me doing that very thing.
I call that my Italian coming out in me. I gotta talk with my hands.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I was just like, it's who I am.
Yep.
But yes.
It's just another way for us humans in how we communicate.
Like, I was really worried that I would say like a lot, and like
Yep.
and that's too much. So that
The
was
one that drove me crazy the most, that my kids come home from school with, and I had to break them of it, is she goes, he goes, when it's supposed to be she said, he said. And I'm like, where did that come from? This he goes, she goes. So this is what I'd say every time they would say, where are you going? Mom, you know what where are you going? Mom, I'm like, then change it to he said or she said. Stop using he goes. Because I want to say, where is he going?
Yeah. That's fun. That is fun.
So you've probably heard your kids in the past do that.
Probably. Sometimes
Maybe you don't notice it because, it's not for a speech or anything.
I mean, I noticed when I taught ELA and, reading, I would pay more attention, and a lot of the, because, I'm in the South, a lot of the teachers would say, can you make videos on how to enunciate these words? Because the way that we say it in the South and the way that you say are, like, a little bit different.
Yep.
And so I would make all the videos for our reading curriculum, especially during when we were in COVID years. Oh, my battery's about, I gotta plug myself in. But yeah, I was always worried. Let's see. Here we go.
Donnell says, I'll be happy to hit 1,000. You haven't reached 1,000 yet? Tell me what your sub numbers are. Looks like we need to do some helping Donnell if she's not at that 1K yet. I thought she was already there. Goes to show what I know, huh? Terry says, you do great videos. Thank you, Terry. And then John says, well, your passionate energy shines through. Thank you for saying that. And Terry says that she loves my interviews. I have 3 more interviews coming up, you guys. And forewarning you, the one with soft squares that will be out next Friday as a premiere, you be ready to sit and chat for a while, because that video is going to be an hour and 15 minutes long. Normally I keep them around 45, but I didn't have the heart to edit anything out, because everything she talked about she's a very interesting person. She's been quilting for 35 years. So she had a lot to share about herself, and it was a lot of fun talking to her.
Absolutely. It's hard to edit things. Absolutely.
Yep. She asked me how much editing that I do in my videos. And I told her, I said, the only time I edit something out is when I first started doing interviews. The person I was interviewing would talk about something, and I would add more to it. And then when I come back and watch the video, I'm like, they may not want to hear all that, so I take it out, But I never ever edited anything the interviewee said. It was me, like adding something that may not necessarily needed to be there,
Mm-hmm.
And I love asking questions, in case you hadn't noticed.
It's amazing. I'm used to it all day long, so nothing new to me. And I'm here for you.
Thank you. So let me ask you a question. Let's stir the bucket a little bit. Why is so many people starting to use the word segue? When I first heard that word, I'm like, what does that even mean? Or Jonesin. Now I figured Jonesin means you're talking about you want what your neighbor has. And why not just say, I want to have this because my neighbor has it? Why use the word Jonesin?
I don't know.
So maybe you can explain why those 2 words are used.
Right, people, I need you out there in the YouTube world. Segway and Jonesin. This has nothing to do with math and science. I can't help you.
Yeah, it's like, why is that even there? I mean, because if you're a non-English speaking person learning like my husband would just have a blank look, like, what are you talking about? I even said what the first time I heard the word segue, because I'm like, what does that even mean? I had to go look it up. And I'm pretty good at knowing what the meaning of words are just by looking at them, But I had never heard that word before. And I thought maybe it was a Southern United States thing or something. But the other day I was watching, what was I watching?
Segue is the transition. That's what I was going to say. It was like it's a transition.
Yeah. I heard segue mentioned several times on Criminal Minds, because I caught the word disco around the last time I didn't.
Yeah.
I've seen it on several YouTube channels, and I'm like, golly, it's like a thing right now that's being used a lot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm so used to all these new teenager words.
So what new teenager words would you like to share?
Oh, none whatsoever. They're
none?
just,
oh, okay.
No, I don't need them stuck in my head.
One thing that I've had to learn to do here in Greenland is when I first moved here, and we're going to talk about this on a live around the 26th, I think we're having a live, and the live is going to be all about me moving here and what it's like living here, all the stuff, and about Greenland itself. But one of the things I had to learn in order to get past the language barrier, the first 2 years of the living here, the language barrier kicked my butt. I would come home squalling And Nikolai's like, I don't know how to help you. I'm like, because it was frustrating because it was like they couldn't understand any of my English. And, but it could have been that some people say I have a Southern accent. I don't hear it. But a lot of people say they hear it. And that could have teased the Greenlanders when it was listening to English because they were used to hearing European English.
Yeah.
And there is a difference between British English and United States English, or English that's taught in Denmark. Like we use the term, I went to the store to buy a Coke for you. Here, they'll say, I went to the store to buy a Coke to you. And that would trick me up every time I heard that to you. So what I had to learn to do is stop using big words, which as a college person, you're used to using enormous, big, long words. That's why I love using big words.
Language.
And the second thing is all Southern slang had to be left out of anything I said. Because when you use slang, you'd get looked at like, huh? What did you just say?
Like, did I understand you correctly? Yeah, I know. Yes.
And with Nikolai, sometimes he would ask me a question, or I'd ask him a question, and I would get a strange answer. And I said, honey, did you not hear what I said? Yeah, you asked me this. I said, but you gave me this answer. He says, is that not what you meant? I'm like, no. He says, then ask it in a different way. So I'd ask the question in a different way, and then I would get the answer I was looking for. So you have to adapt to the situation when it comes to language and English.
Yes. Let's see. They've answered the jonesing question for you. So jonesing is like craving or keeping up with the Joneses, like keeping up with your neighbors.
Okay.
So that's what. And I've always said, I don't want to keep up with the Joneses. And so that's what automatically came to my head when you said that.
Yeah, I don't want to keep up with the Joneses either.
So.
Because I think that I don't know. I know you and I have a little bit of an age difference, but I seem to recall there used to be a TV show about the Joneses or something, and it was about the neighbors wanting what the other neighbor had, kind of thing. Yep. And that's why I thought that's what it meant. But the segue, I really didn't have any understanding, but looks like someone has actually defined that up there. Segue is like a good transition place. Yeah. Donnell says she's got to run now. I have to get into the Zoom with Donna. John says that because I have passion and energy, that's how we attract people to the channel. Thank you for that. John Clark says it originates from a 1913 comic strip where the McGinnis family tried to keep up with their neighbors, the Joneses. There it is. Okay, gotcha. Jonesing is craving. John says, at least that's what I understand. And then Jackie says, Katie, I just barely hear it. I've been noticing it a lot recently on stuff I've been watching. The first time I never noticed segue in Criminal Minds until I rewatched the whole thing again, because I went on a Criminal Minds binge and watched all 17 seasons this time around. It took me, I don't know, 2 months to do. And about halfway through, I heard that word segue. I'm like, how come I never noticed that word before? It's because I've been hearing it on YouTube.
You watch Outlander?
Yes. I wish season 8 would hurry up and get here.
It's the last season. I don't want it to get here.
Why? Because we all know what's going to happen.
Well, I mean, I'm reading. Yeah. We all know.
When you watched it, when you started watching it and it got to the part where Jamie is with the lookalike of Claire's old husband, and that's that stuff that went on in the jail and everything. Did you find that super upsetting and
it's not even in the book? Like, I mean, it's in the book, but it's not in the book. Like, it's just drama. It's just something to get us on for different types of people to watch.
I guess because I found it very disturbing. And I've never read the book, so I have no way of knowing whether that was in the book or not.
because I'm not gonna really binge watch it, but we all know before I start watching season 8, I'm gonna start with number 1 and work all the way through it again. Because I gotta see Jamie. Him and his muscles.
Yep.
Yes.
Man.
Yes. Oh, like you can wear a tartan for me any day.
Yep. Very sexy.
Hey. Like, how you doing?
Nice eye candy.
Oh my word. Getting hot in here. Just kidding.
I've watched all of the Vikings and the Valhalla one, and oh my gosh, the violence in those are so graphic. And me and Nikolai were talking about that today. I think I'm becoming sensitive to movies and stuff that have a lot of violence, because it seems like the more advanced movies get and technology, the worse the violence gets. Have you noticed that? Or is it just my imagination?
Not your imagination. It's just what people are craving right now. They want it. Absolutely. Okay. Straight line quilting this thing. Oh, I need to get my piece out. Oh,
Okay, so we are 2 hours and 46 minutes in. Do you want to go another 15 minutes and stop, or what do you want to do?
Because I'm just hopping over to Donna's live when we finish. So you
Okay.
just tell me. It's your show.
Okay, because I was just thinking, people might want to shimmy on over to Donna's, and I think if we stopped it at, that's 6 o'clock your time, right?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock your.
Yeah.
Ooh, you've missed the dinner hour.
I have soup waiting on me too. But I mean,
Oh, so you got soup too. All right, you and me are the same thing over here. Okay, so we can stop it at 7 your time.
All right.
And then, okay, so we have less than 15 minutes left, and I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing, and I'll show you the outline of what I've done. Because what I'm doing right now is just going on the outline of the whole flower and the leaves, and then I'll start working on the interior. John Clark says there is a difference. Jackie says maybe it's because I lived in Florida for so long that I don't really hear your accent. My accent is like, when we moved from San Diego when I was 5 years old. And so from 5 to age 12, we lived in South Florida. And then we moved from South Florida to North Florida, and from North Florida from age 12 to 2011, which was, I think, 48 years. I was 48 years old, I think, or 46. I can't remember. Anyway, I was in my 40s. And so all that time I lived in North Florida, and North Florida is a hodgepodge of people from India, and there's a couple towns like Trenton and McClenny where, boy, do they sound like they're from the South. And I know I don't sound nothing like them. But I think I have a combination of living in these different areas and then living here in Greenland for the last 13 years. Someone made a comment recently that even my accents changed a little bit from being over here, because I've learned how to speak some words, and the way you have to say it changes the way you speak some of the letters in the alphabet.
Absolutely. Yeah,
so
I mean, your dialects change depending on where you are and communicating with. Absolutely. Because I have a very strong French Canadian accent, like Americanized version of it. And you would never know. But when I go home to New York and I'm around my people for more than 24 hours, it comes back out and my vowels change. So
Yep. And I can tell when someone's from Boston. I can also tell when someone is an Italian and they're from Brooklyn. They have both the Italian accent along with that Brooklyn accent, and that's where they're from. And the only reason I know that is the friends that you've heard me mention on and off that I've known since 1996 from the internet, and I've met them in person in New York. Michael's family immigrated from Italy. And one of the first things he did to correct me is the first time I said Italian, he looked at me and he says, that's not how you say that. I'm like, okay, educate me. It's Italian, not Italian. I'm like, thank you for correcting me on that. But I would have never known that if I had never come in contact with someone like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's always nice to know that if you're saying something wrong and people can constructively say, hey, you should say it this way. This is the way and the way to say it. And I've noticed that like the letter I
Mhm.
is not the I or the F sound that you use, like short, like or like the I is more silent when it's not the long, I guess you could say, for English. But in Danish, the I is a E sound. The Y is a U sound. The
Yeah.
Greenlandic, like with Greenlandic words, a T is a D sound, a P is a B sound, a K is a G sound, depending on if it's like two K's side by side. There's lots of double consonants and lots of double vowels in a lot of Greenlandic words. And depending on how they're located in a word will depend on whether you use the sound that you and I would assume it would be versus the sound that we would never think of it would be.
Yeah.
And a lot of people call the reason my given name is actually Catherine, and my nickname had been all of my life Kathy. But when I got married to my first husband, his Japanese mother couldn't say Kathy because that PH sound is not in the Japanese.
It's something that you have to put your tongue on your teeth.
Yeah, exactly. And here I noticed that a lot of people would call me Katie over Kathy. So I just switched to Katie because I'm fine with that.
And
I mean, I really love using Katie as because Kathy's not a given name. It's just a nickname for Catherine. And Catherine can be a short of Catherine also. So it doesn't matter. So that's why I started using Katie because it made it easier for people to call me something here. Now, if my siblings talk to me, it's Kat.
Mm-hmm.
See you later, Joyce. Going to Donna's. Okay, what time is it now? It's time to probably roll out of here.
Yep. But thinking about the vowel sound, so in like, I guess my people up in New York, they would say ice, but they say ice like with a U sound. And so that's how I've always enunciated like certain words. So when I came down here, they're like, you mean ice? Like with the I? And I'm like, oh yeah. So I've had to really work on that. And there's a couple other just sounds that I had to work on or they just didn't know. And I used to talk a lot faster than I do.
Yeah. Yeah. And ice cream here is just called East. It's funny. Yeah, ICE, but that I is an E sound. So it always teases me when I hear somebody say that. But now I've gotten where when I hear it, I'm like, oh, I know what you're talking about. But I can also understand. I've gotten where I can understand quite a bit of Greenlandic. I have about a 50-word vocabulary that I can actually speak, even though I might butcher some of it. But I can understand more than that. And if I go into the grocery store and into a restaurant, I can read the Danish, but I don't speak any Danish at all, none, because I've concentrated on working on just learning how to pronunciate the Greenlandic that I do know how to speak. And when me and Nikolai talk to each other through Messenger, typing, he starts out like the first 15 minutes is all in Greenlandic because we're typing back and forth in Greenlandic. And then after that, we switch over to English because that's just about as far as I can go, right now. But I try really hard to learn it.
Yeah.
Okay, tell everybody about your channel one more time. So then we're going to mosey on over to Donna's.
So you can find me on So Blessed by Jess. That's my YouTube handle. And over there you can find just tutorials on how to create blocks and just I have a passion for quilting and teaching, and so that's what I want to bring to you. And I have quite a few videos up, and they're not very long videos. I try to keep everything underneath 14, 19 minutes for attention spans and things. And we're putting blocks together. So, and sometimes I put a quilt together. But it's fun, and I'm just here for the ride, and I get to meet wonderful creators like Katie and hang out with them, and we just have a blast. That's what I'm here for.
Yep, same here. I have really enjoyed getting to know so many, especially you, Jess. Some of y'all are, oh my God, everybody's great. The community is great, but there's just some that you click with better than others. You know what I mean? And it helps boost your confidence when you're a new creator or a new quilter, because you meet other people that can explain something in a way that helps you understand it better. And I've really enjoyed sewing with you as well. John says that you have a new subscriber. He just joined your channel. And thank you so much, John, for all your comments and for becoming a new subscriber of Jess's channel. All right, let me tell you quick stuff. Tomorrow, Saturday, it's me and Eric at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to continue on with the string scrap blocks. It's such a tongue twister. Next week, I do have one. Well, I'm doing 2 more interviews, one on Sunday, one on Monday. But the one that will premiere will be Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Land of Soft Squares. I'll also have a live on Thursday as usual. One on Saturday. The Saturday one, I think I'm doing with someone. I don't remember. I'll post in my community tab and over on my Greenland Quilter group. And I will keep on updating you on all the other things I'll be doing soon. So thank you for coming tonight.
You're on live tomorrow too, right?
Yeah, I've got a live tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to be slamming tomorrow. Tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
No,
Is it tomorrow morning? I think it's tomorrow
it's
morning.
the 23rd for Donnell.
Okay, maybe next week.
Yes, next week, but I still will have 2 that day. I'll be doing it with her. I'll be going to her channel in the morning time with her, which will be early afternoon for me, and then I have my live that evening. So next weekend's going to be slamming for sure. But you know, I feel better. You probably noticed I've been feeling better, so my lives are back to my usual self. I don't know. You guys lifted my spirit, and getting to sew with some people has helped a lot, I think, and thank you for that. So make sure to live, laugh, love, dream. And what do we do with all of that? You create something. So have a nice night and see you on the next live video, and go on over and see Donna. Good night.